Hi, it's Mrs. B,
and Auntie.
and this is going to be our first ever coffee with Mrs. B and Auntie. And we're just going to sit here and chat about a few things. And the first thing that Auntie here wanted to talk about is...
Oh, Loretta Lynn. One of my friends, author friends, is a ghostwriter. And this lady that was friends with Loretta Lynn wrote a story, a book about her. And my friend was a ghostwriter on there, and she's not allowed to be, I can't say her name because she's a ghostwriter.
Right.
And she was telling me this crazy story that this Rosie Hamilton, the author of this book, my friend Loretta Lynn, she told this funny story about Loretta.
If you click on it, will it make it bigger so you can just show that picture?
Oops. I
No,
don't know.
Maybe not.
Nope.
Just I don't know how
It wouldn't go on there.
Oh, well.
Anyway, it's on Amazon. Anyway, this lady, I read the book. I bought the book and read it. My friend Loretta Lynn, and she said that I think it was about when Loretta was first starting out in country music. She'd probably been around. She was around enough to have fans and everything, but she was at this school, I think it was, and she was signing autographs before her show, and she was getting overwhelmed with the people coming up to get autographs. And so she saw Rosie standing there, and she says, "Would you come up here and help me?" And so Rosie helped manage the crowd, and she'd take the books from the people and get them ready for Loretta to sign.
Now, she didn't know her at that time.
No.
She was just in the crowd,
Yeah.
right?
And she just thought she looked like a friendly girl. So this Rosie, she helped her all like for a couple of hours before the concert, and then she said, "Would you hang around backstage and help me after the concert for more autographs?" So she goes, "Okay." So she was just such a fan, so they struck up a friendship that lasted like, I don't know, 50, 60 years.
That's neat.
Yeah, she became her right-hand woman there, and her husband and her, Loretta had them move onto her property and everything, and live right next door to him. She traveled with her, she shopped with her. Loretta always, to decompress after a show or before a show, she would go shopping and buy a bunch of clothes and things.
And you had a funny story.
Yeah, one Christmas time, what was her husband's name? Dooley? Something. Anyway, Loretta's husband was in the hospital, and she had put off Christmas shopping. And so they went to a 24-hour Walmart, and she packed up about three or four cart loads worth of items for Christmas. And they had been busy all day, and Loretta was getting kind of tired. She was getting up in age a little bit at this time, but she wasn't, is probably 15 years or so, prior to today. And she was kind of tired, so she handed Rosie a handful of money. And she says, "I'm going to go lay down in your back seat of your car and go take a nap." So she goes, "Okay." And she says, "Well, you mind checking out for me?" And she goes, "Okay, I can do that." So she's checking out all this stuff, and it comes to a whole bunch of money. And so she hands the cashier this great big wad of money. She counted it out, but it was...
Was it crumpled?
Kind of crumpled, and she had uncrumpled it and everything, and
Okay, before we got to that, so Loretta Lynn, this very famous
country singer.
superstar country singer,
is laying in the back seat.
Goes to the back seat of her car to lay down
in a parking lot
at Walmart.
of a Walmart.
That is, to me, that itself is very
hilarious.
funny. Yes, because she never got to where she thought she was all that.
No, and this is probably 2 a.m. or something.
That is so cool. But go ahead.
And just you never know who's in your parking lot at Walmart.
That's
anyway,
true.
So the lady hands the cashier the money, and she goes, I can't take this. And she says, why not? She says, well, it's dirty. And she says, it's dirty? And said, look at that. It's got dirt all over it. And she says, where'd you get this money? And she goes, well, Loretta Lynn handed it to me. And she goes, yeah, right. You know, yeah, you're one of those 2 a.m. creeps or something. You know? Going shopping and handing me dirty money. And she goes, yeah, Loretta Lynn is asleep in the back seat of my car. And she goes,
yeah, likely story.
So she gets the security guard. And the lady says, I'll take you to her. So the security guard and her go to the car, and they knock on the window. Loretta's like, what's the matter? She goes, they won't take your money. It's dirty. And she goes, oh, brother. So she stomps in there, and she says, what's the problem with my money? My money spends just as good as anybody else's. And the lady's like, you are Loretta Lynn. Well, and she goes, what is wrong with the money? And they said, it's dirty. And she goes, well, I don't like banks. And they said, so? And she goes, my bank is my backyard, and I just dig a hole and put the money in it. So if you don't like dirty money, won't spend any of it here. I don't think she even had it in a sack.
That's me. I'm more logical. I'm like, it wasn't in a jar or a can or
a pillow slip.
Anything. A paper bag, which, that's not going to help either.
But it was dirty.
That is so funny.
But who knew? Anyway, she did not like banks. Anyway, I think that story is in here.
That is a funny story.
It is funny. And I thought, my friend just cackled. She thought that's hilarious. She's about 6 or so years older than me, but since she wrote that, Ghost wrote that book, the lady that authored it has gotten really sick. I think she may have even passed away, and then just last week, wasn't it, that Loretta Lynn passed away? So my friend was going to get to write volume 2, but everybody started getting sick, and she didn't get to do that. But
yeah, it's sad to see the legends pass on.
Yeah, and they said she never did ever treat anybody like she was better than them. And this lady lived with her day after day, and she said she never talked down to anybody. She didn't tell the woman, I'm Loretta Lynn. What are you doing? Treat me like this.
Yeah.
She just said, I just don't believe in banks. I've known people like that. I think I have a sister-in-law that's a little bit like that. She has stuff in the bank, but she doesn't trust banks a whole lot.
Well, I'll be honest. I do not trust banks.
No.
Especially nowadays. But
yeah,
that's enough of that.
Yes.
I don't have any celebrity funny stories or not funny stories. I just don't have
when I was in my 20s, this one soap opera star was at Pampa at the mall when the mall was big, when it had the pennies in it. Mm-hmm. And Mom and I went to see him. And I tell you, I didn't know I would get starstruck, but I couldn't even talk. And he didn't even see me. I mean, I could barely see him. His was just kind of like the home free guys on the stage, and I was like, oh my goodness,
I don't know if I could talk, because I wouldn't know what to say to him.
Oh my goodness, I made her start an Instagram account.
I don't do Instagram. I don't really do Facebook.
No.
I watch YouTube. The only reason this is going on is this lady right here.
We're crazy.
Because I don't do this stuff, and so.
Well, we were at the home last year. Battery.
You go ahead and tell the story, and I'll go get a battery charger.
Well, anyway,
we could pause it.
Yes, let's pause. Technical.
It says, I don't know if we're still recording or not. I hit pause. I don't know if
Yeah. We need to stop recording.
No, you stopped the video.
Oh, okay.
I paused it.
Okay. I can't tell if it's paused. We'll see if it's paused or not. Oh, dear. Oh, are you okay? Are you okay? Did you fall down?
I tripped on your
Oh, no.
your tile.
Oh, no.
I know it's there now.
Is it? Oh, okay.
I survived.
Bless your heart.
I survived.
It's so funny.
I don't know if we're paused or not.
I don't either.
I hit the pause button, but that doesn't mean a thing.
It still says stop recording.
I know.
So